Professional Age of Empires 2, the very tippy top of the leaderboards. Rank 2 and Rank 3 having it out. Let me first introduce you. In the bottom right, it is none other than the easily pronounced and absolutely no question this is how you pronounce it, Liereyy. Spawning as the best civilization, Lithuanians. Getting extra food. They love their gold for Jesus with the relics. You got extra cavalry attack based on that. You got the Litus, which are really cool cavalry. They look cool. So, and they got the cool, they just look cool as well. So, and also, you got bamboozled. This was his challenger. This is MbL. I got confused because the Lithuanians have a red logo, but it's actually in the green. But MbL, well known for his defensive and creative strategies, playing Turks, which have a lot of options. 1, to play for the later game. 2, you got scouts, are a strong and sometimes too strong choice, depending on who you ask. But we're on Arabia, but the nice green forested version, as I wrangle with Capture Age and try to figure out how to work it. And this is Liereyy, by the way. I don't expect either player is going to have a huge difference of their builds. We saw a deer get pushed in by MbL. I don't think there were any deer shenanigans here from Liereyy quite yet, as he goes to get his firstborn. The Lithuanians, what's not to love? Okay? Right, you got great skirmishers, you got great pikemen, you got great cavalry. He's got a relic right there on his front door. So I wouldn't be surprised if he does. Wait, did he? Okay, he's just juggling the villagers in and out. There you go. Wow, those boars are quite far away. MbL, from what I've understood from the just great descriptions of Twitch chat, the people. Big fan of making sure his plays are safe and secure. And what I mean is walling off very quickly and thoroughly. Which some might consider being, quote, a total bitch. But if it ain't broke, if it gets your opponent either tilted or denies them strategies, that's what we like to call, at least most people call winning. So, another cow finding its way in. Yeah, I usually call that winning, so it's usually a preferable strat. I think we were on the Liereyy sounds, which is kind of weird. It throws me off. I'm going to have to wrangle my way around Capture Age. I like how you can see the worker counts. There's so many stats, so many numbers. You could see the potential tech trees here off to the sides, which is a little confusing. Of course, they don't have their Imperial upgrades yet, but I'm sure they'll get there. It is pretty sick, though, the observer interface. Some nice wall. Let's talk about the resources. Okay, let's spin the wheel. What are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about how a pretty easy wall off here for MbL facing his opponent. Liereyy, on the other hand, has a lot of work to be done to protect his main gold and some secondary stone from the incursions of MbL. A lot of his resources pretty spread out here. Yeah, MbL is going to have a pretty easy time. His gold is incredibly well protected, back of his base. Liereyy going to have a tough time getting to that if MbL puts any effort into it. We're still getting through that first 10 minutes or so as everybody shows their animal management, their zookeeper skills. Well, a little closer to cowboy skills, but what have you. A barracks on the way for Liereyy, and that's before. Well, not before Feudal Age finishes. Feudal Age is up. A much later Feudal. Oh, quick scouts. Remember, Lithuanians. They start with, I think it's 150 extra food. which means you don't have to invest that food in earlier villagers, which means if you want to get scouts up in your opponent's base, especially if your opponent is MbL, you got to do it quick, you got to do it just a little dirty. So what does that mean? Now, with only 17 villagers going up to feudal age, already got the stables done, and scouts already in production, following that up with the eco upgrades, MbL not walled as of yet. And that means the scouts are likely going to get in, and they're going to get some work done. The question is how much. MbL does not... Is there a Rex? He's got a Rex. He actually built at the back of his base. So I think he's anticipating almost exactly this. Stable is on the way for MbL. Got a couple villagers going to work on it. The scouts making their way downtown. Riding fast. Getting quick walled. Oh, but wait. This villager not happy. Oh no. Oh, he dies. He was a shepherd to the end. I don't know why he was a shepherd at the end. I think he was clicked on like a sheep or something. I'm not sure if that helps. There's no mineral walking here because there are a few minerals to walk to. Scouts making their way around. Just getting even a single villager, especially if it costs you no scouts, of course worth it now. Those villagers add up significantly over time. The scouts continue their efforts. Oh, a farm on the way. MbL with no trademark walling here, but instead is focused on just walling off key locations, like the few farms he does have. The pikes patrolling several locations. The quick wall didn't work out for him. On the other side, Liereyy is down one worker? No. It's MbL down a worker. He's caught up. Of course, building villagers consistently, incredibly important. Is he? He's just going to wall off this little section. Have a little lane for his wood here. MbL with the minimalist walls. He's going to get his gold. He's going to get some farms. He's going to get his wood. And he's going to be happy with his life, it seems. Meanwhile, Liereyy reaching out a little further. He does have map control with those scouts thus far. Even doing a little hunting over here. Is anyone anywhere close to castle now? So that's an idle villager button I'm seeing now, which is hilarious. You can see all the resources. I'm not sure what this one is. Is that resources and army? I'm pretty sure yes. Okay. And then, of course, the supplies on either side. There's a lot of numbers. Numbers you'd usually have to cycle through one way or another, but... Oh, God, that's so sick. Is there a camera follow button? I'll figure out that crazy technology. The scouts... 4 scouts oftentimes known as more than 3. So MbL forced to run away from that. Oh, the drama. Oh, other way. A few pikes getting in there. And Liereyy suddenly finds himself with less scouts. Well, less HP on the scouts. And, of course, a couple pikes slowly making their way to the front. Able to get a few stabs off and kill one scout, which is more than enough to force the retreat. Another pikeman coming in. Don't want to risk it. MbL coming around, trying to take the high ground, get that slight advantage. Building up now towards castle or both sides. Now the scouts dancing back and forth. Liereyy. Well, I mean, the pikes are here. That's going to take a while for them to kill the barracks. I think somewhere in the realm of never. But technically they do damage to it. Practically... Building's well known for resisting wooden pikes. Market is on the way, MbL. A little bit of extra gold, but not quite enough food for that castle age quite yet. Whereas the area's already started his. He's got 2 minutes left on it, so that's how long. It takes about 2:30. Pike stabbing it out. MbL. Ah, that's pretty cool. We can see that. MbL trying to get his castle started. 45 seconds behind is going to be the window. Cavalry armor on the way for Liereyy. Meanwhile, the pike battles continue on both sides. Meanwhile, a wolf getting involved, just making things even more complicated. The scout HP is actually higher for Liereyy. 35 to 35 villagers, so if anybody ends up losing some, well, they could be in a dicey scenario. Oh, the scouts turn the tables. I don't think we're going to see any villagers go down, but... Oh, what a block! Coming in with a market to block and actually trapping the scout. Does he cancel the market? He cancels the market as well. A bold choice, a big choice with the market. But he gets the scout. He cancels for minimal resources lost and just a major weight off his shoulders. Some long-distance gold mining here. Must need it for something. Interesting to see it. I'm not sure what he's long-distance mining. Okay, there you go. Waiting for enough wood for a town center. MbL 30 seconds off. Getting bloodlines for his cavalry. Get that extra HP. And a minimalist wall, but a wall nonetheless. Really utilizing all the space he's created. Another TC on the way. So, no sort of early Castle Age aggression. Of course, as Lithuanians, the focus on the relics is strong. I'm sure both players understand that. Getting those relics really makes your cavalry that much more effective. +1 attack for all non-scout cavalry per relic in the bank. I mean the monastery, for worship purposes, of course. It fills them with determination and, more importantly, sharper swords somehow. Don't question it. MbL trading in some gold for food. Getting some camel riders as well, preempting any sort of cavalry from the air. As 3 TCs is the choice from both sides. Pikemen good, but not good enough to take out a full-fledged knight. The camel riders are definitely better equipped for it. The worker counts right now, we're looking at 40 villagers for Liereyy with a significant advantage, but I don't think it's going to be maintained. Maybe 4 or 5, up to 6 now. It's starting to get like 2 or 3 villagers. I know it's a big deal, but is it that big a deal? 5 or 6 is starting to get up there. So where are the relics? We got 1 up here, 2. Nothing, unfortunately for Liereyy, this is kind of just a terrible relic spawn for him. He's got in the far corner, next to MbL's base, and then right outside of it. I'm not sure exactly how much MbL is scouted, but there are no relics. There's only the 1 in relatively quick grabbing distance. So he just... that's good for MbL, how these ended up. Meanwhile, unfortunately though, the monk, he grabbed the relic, but the scout slipped in behind him and just cut him down in the streets of his own town. That relic going to take a little bit longer and 100 gold more to get back to base. The scout's in and making things difficult here. Losing any monks. 100 gold is not cheap. Okay, it doesn't take food, it doesn't take wood, it just takes gold to train those holy mans and their special hands, which can carry the relics. No one else is qualified. They don't have the divine right. Oh no, another one! Oh no, another one cut down! MbL with no regard for the monks. Knights getting chased down. Liereyy having a tough time finding any of the relics. 2 monks now down. And the scouts, well, the camel riders chasing back the knights and the scouts outrunning the rest. Another monk comes out. At some point, he's going to be able to pick up the relics. The knight's able to chase down, oh, the holy mans. Whoa-la-la. But it's not enough. It's not enough to turn the tides. And, of course, those scouts, they are, as you can already tell, of loose morals and therefore not easily converted to the silver-tongued holy men. Silver tongues, but golden robes. Don't get me wrong. Let's look at the worker counts. We got 62-62. It's been all evened up here. MbL still keeping relic control pretty well. 1 slap. Wait, 2. I take it back. 2. He slipped in that relic from the bottom left. So 2 relics right now. those knights gonna get the +2 attack buff, which means MbL, what are we gonna be seeing as a potential counter here? Camel Riders, of course. Wheelbarrows on the way for Liereyy. Looking for now. He's actually getting the monk HP sanctity. Even heavier robes. Less likely to be cut down in the streets. Right now, MbL, he's obvious. You can see his priorities here. He knows what the Lithuanians want, and he knows how to stop them. As the SEAL Team Monk is on its way out. Pikes, monks, knights as well, on a holy mission. A pilgrimage to find the relics on almost the opposite side of the map. Now mining with 10 on gold is MbL. Not gold, I'm sorry. Rock and stone for MbL. He's got 10 on stone right now, so I think a castle is very near in all of our futures. And that might extend his. Oh, the knights are just up in here. Alright, so they just walk in. By walk, I mean gallop, or whatever knights do. Yo, where are those camel riders? MbL, a little late on the draw there. Villagers getting slaughtered in the streets. Conversions happening somewhere. I'm not exactly sure where. There's a couple scouts. Oh, on the other side. MbL obviously a little distracted here as the villager count. He's still at 80. He's been pumping them out of these town centers. The camel riders finally show up to the party, but the party has been a little bit heavy for those villagers. Blood in the streets and in the farms. Good fertilizer, but not good for the overall economy. So several villagers taken out. The rest forced into the safety of the town center. MbL is able to pick up one of the relics off the map. Actually, the pilgrimage will find a singular relic, grabs the one closer to MbL's base. We'll see if he can make it home. Nice high ground castle coming up for the Turks here. But the relic not spotted by Liereyy, not able to pick that one up. Oh, this is a little awkward here. How do I do the... Wait, can he see him? Oh, he could see him. Yeah, he saw that. Oh, no. Oh, no. Yeah, he saw him. Uh-oh. And that spells potential disaster for these holy men and their brave pike guards. As, yes, 4 pikes. That's not enough. They try to get their conversions, but they haven't had enough time. One camel rider's not going to turn the tides. They actually get a couple camel riders. Wait a second. Oh, wait. A monk lived. But that's not enough. Slash down. The sanctity helping a bit. You know what? That went better for Liereyy than I thought it was going to. It definitely ended up better off than... Like, I thought that was just going to be a wholesale slaughter there. But they were able to convert a few camel riders. It was still bad. Make no mistake. That was not good. But it was not as bad as it could have been. Especially considering during all this, Liereyy, he's up a few workers. And he's got Imperial Age on the way. Almost a minute quicker than MbL, who's not slacking on it now. He's got, well, Liereyy, does he have a castle of his own? He does not. He's got 7 on stone. He's got 6 more workers. Heavy plow just now. What I'm learning from looking at these pro games now is the economic upgrades are not nearly the priority I originally thought they were. Either that or they're just forgetting their upgrades. But, like, maybe I don't need to be wasting so much money on heavier plows when I could have heavier swords or fancy robes, of course. I gotta... Some more camel riders getting chased in. We're passing the 30-minute mark. Imperial Age about to kick in. Yeah, we got trade cart coming up as well. Imperial Age done for Liereyy, but he doesn't have a castle with which to build trebuchets quite yet. I spoke a bit too soon. As the castle is complete, gonna wall off most of this. The castle's on adjacent hills here. Obviously, the high impact. Oh, the wall's coming up for MbL, a stone wall. But wait, did he? Oh, he pre-walled some of it. Trying to cut through, but wait. Still stopped just in time. That looked real dicey, but MbL completes the full wall just barely in time. Now, kind of funneling everything. He commits to the stone walls as well. Important to note. Liereyy not so walled off, but he has a lot more map control. How many? I think he ends up with 3 relics here. The knights just get in. The pikes a little further behind, but they find their way through, ignoring essentially the castles. A couple camel riders not going to hurt either. Those camel riders turned their fancy capes not long ago during that whole debacle. Now I don't think pikes and is that cavaliers now? Cavaliers completed. MbL at 94 villagers, so a noticeably smaller amount of workers here. Meanwhile, though, I don't know if Murder Holes is going to be on the way. Not that it's necessarily that important. Sipahi, which is a thing he can get. I don't know what that does, but it's one of the unique techs for the Turks. He's investing in the Castle Age tech. Has everybody going to work now? A whole lot of wood for both sides. Nearly 50 on food for Liereyy. Cavalry Archer HP. Cavalry Pierce Armor. Something like that. HP for Cavalry Archer. According to Twitch chat. Thank you for filling me in. So, those Cavalry Archers, the investment for MbL. Heavy plow on the way. Trade cart! Okay, I was definitely overestimating the trade cart value. It was trade cart just now. Or hand cart, not trade cart. Trade cart is a different thing. Hand cart. Just multiple cart-related activities. Wait, is that a Bombard tower? Wait, whoa. Things are heating up. What's going on? 3 trebuchets out of nowhere. And a Bombard tower from MbL. But 3 trebuchets is going to start working through this so quickly. That castle going to have a real tough time here. That castle at half HP and falling quick. Bombard towers aren't countering. He's pushing with Bombard towers, but he's going to lose the castle. The Bombard towers, though, looking at the trebuchets, not finding the target. They're just missing. I don't know if they're intentionally going for. Either way, the castle crumbles. The trebuchets, of course, not going to be terrible against the Bombard towers here. An interesting choice. MbL out here with a bunch of cavalry archers. Down goes one trebuchet, but one of the towers push back. And suddenly now all the late game siege is brought to bear. Bombard towers, another one crunches under the weight of the trebuchet impacts. Another set continues flinging those 90-kilogram projectiles at quite a distance. The Bombard towers, I don't know if they have more range, but it really does seem like the trebuchet is the superior choice here as a siege weapon. Now, the Bombard tower's doing pretty well. Well, okay, Bombard cannons. Changing things up. Liereyy ahead. The score is almost dead even now. A confusing exchange. I've never seen Bombard cannons and towers as the siege weapons. The trebuchet is obviously the classical choice. Bombard cannons, incredible range, impressive range. Paladins on the way, 1 minute out right now for Liereyy. I think he's kind of waiting on that as his option. He's got a lot of investment. Well, the cavalry archers. Conscription is done as well. He's got 27 cavaliers, soon to be paladins. But will his castle survive? Liereyy adding on another castle. A little bit further south. Just a couple villagers committed. Liereyy moving in, thinking he doesn't have the time. He may be right about that, but getting funneled into quite a choke point. The cavalry archers having a field day, gunning these down. A quick wall from MbL. Gonna be able to block out the Bombard cannons and trap in a bunch of these now paladins. But the paladins closing the distance. In come the trebuchets at a relatively close distance. That's a risky business right there. The castle will not fall. It's not going down. The Bombard cannons, it's being saved right now. The paladins on top of everything. And the cavalry archers all jammed up into a group. The Bombard cannons almost in it's unclear exactly what's going down right now. The Bombard tower surround, but he saves the castle. And at the end of the day, it seems like that's making the difference. Looking at the score, it was about even. Now Lierey's ahead by about 1,000. The Bombard surround is... They take their sweet time getting there, give him plenty of time to dodge. I think there was enough. Liereyy holds. The Paladin's making the difference despite MbL's best efforts. It was quite a mess. I'm sure there was some incredible micro that just happened, but I completely missed it. It was, they got up in there. A lot of the Bombard cannons died eventually. It looks like the Paladins just survived for too long. Like, there's a lot of cavalry archers. There's just too much armor on those Paladins. And, of course, there are, what, 3 relics now? 3 relics tucked away in the monastery, but MbL's pushing forward. This ain't over yet. The Bombard Tower is supporting a surprising siege push. Yeah, this is quite a tower defense match we're seeing here. Bombard's continuing. Like that. This castle ain't out of the woods yet. In fact, it stands apart from them. Another castle from Liereyy. Meanwhile, there's a secondary push. The Ram's working through, but... well, are you serious with these Bombard towers? Okay. It's a thing. They don't have great accuracy, but if they do hit, it does a lot of damage. But the Bombard towers are... I'm not even sure, like... It doesn't seem to be hitting anything. Like, I've looked at this for a while, and it hasn't taken any damage. But if it does, like, one of these, you'll be sorry when one time it does actually hit. I'm not sure if it actually gets in the way. Wait. Rams only take 1 because it's pierce damage? A piercing with, like, a 1 meter wide rock? Okay. Technically, the most blunt pierce damage, but still pierce damage. Okay. Well, that is, bring the billet, pull the boys! And girls. We don't discriminate here in Age of Empires. They can all get pulled to their death. This is a bit, so the Rams are just kind of shrugging everything off. The continue contain. This is, it's a mess. Are Bombard Towers the newest meta? Do I have my YouTube clickbait title? Find out more. As we get closer to an inevitable conclusion, I'm just not sure how this ends. It feels like Liereyy keeps getting pushed back despite the great fights. MbL is just tower pushing him. Like, it's 12 minutes into the game. It's working. Liereyy has not been able to do a significant amount of damage to MbL's economy, whereas his main base, where all his farms are, which he's struggling now to harvest, obviously, because he's under almost literal fire. There are Bombard towers almost in range of his main town center. So this is, this is not good. This is not good. As Liereyy, I can say with great confidence, this is bad. It was a bit touch and go for MbL. It looked a little dicey. It looks better now. Yeah. When your Bombard towers are attacking their main town center, then I think... well, there's still some Rams coming through, which are shrugging off. It really looks super weird for the Rams to take 1 damage from a massive rock. But apparently that's how it goes. The Bombard... Who knew that against everything but Rams, this strategy seems to be pretty amazing. Well, maybe also... Oh, actually, I don't... Somehow the rocks that the Bombard towers get are different than the ones... The guys with the cannon should hand some of the rocks off to the guys in the towers. So that way they can do actual damage to stuff. I don't know, but they're very selfish with that. The great tower thrust of MbL continues forward, and it looks like that's going to take him all the way to the finish line, as Liereyy just has no answer for the leapfrogging of MbL. Oh, what is that? What am I watching? Okay. Well, there you go. I don't think every time... Bombard towers are that thing I know technically exists, but I've never actually seen it, either in my games or in a few pro games. Bombard cannons, yes. Towers? No. But... yeah, how does Liereyy stop this? He's now walled into his own base. Like, the MbL has made quite a significant wall. Like... it does seem that the cavalry archers have reached a critical mass. And the Bombard cannons were the support he needed. That's a GG. MbL takes it. So, our Bombard tower defense, the new meta. Like, subscribe, tell me more. Winter, I love your Age of Empires. It's the favorite game that reminds me of my childhood back when I could play games and I didn't hate the world and hate Bombard towers. But here we are. So, thank you for watching. Good luck, have fun. Stay chill.